Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Hoikety Choik podcast. It's me, one of your hosts, Ciara, and today we are joined with our lovely guest, Hedieh. Hedieh, do you want to give a little introduction?
Hi, I'm Hedieh, and I just finished my first year in life sciences. And yeah.
Thank you. And I'm joined, as always, with my lovely co-host, Cianna. Cianna, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so today we're going to be just having a chill chat with our gal Hedieh. We're going to be talking about, university and kind of that transition into first year. And Hedieh is going to share kind of her experience transitioning to first year completely online.
So, Hedieh, I kind of want to ask you, when you were coming into first year out of high school, what were your feelings knowing that it was probably going to be a large portion online and it was your first year out of high school going into university?
Yeah, like in the beginnings of the summer, it was like the university was supposed to be like small classes be in person. So I was very okay with it, like large classes being online, and also like I was enrolled in a few seminar courses. So I was like, okay, I have a few in-person classes and the rest is going to be online, which is fine. And then towards the end of the summer, it like all went online. It was really disappointing at first, and because I don't know, I was expecting to like come to Toronto, like go explore the campus and stuff, but I didn't get to do that. But yeah, I guess it turned out okay. Yeah, also for like orientation, I was so excited to like go and participate in in-person orientation, but it all went online. But although it was like very awesome, like I got to like kind of get introduced to university and all that, but I don't know, it was kind of disappointing at that time, which I don't know, COVID. Yeah.
I think that's really understandable because, like, what I've heard from a lot of my friends is this idea that you feel like university is like this next step in your life. And when you turn that page, you expect for it to be drastically different. You're spending more time away from home. You're making a lot more decisions on your own when you're at campus and no one is really directing you as to what to do anymore. And I know that for students leaving high school, coming to university, and they don't have that change, it can feel like maybe they didn't take that next step. And so I think that's like totally understandable. My like question coming out of that is like, now that you've finished first year, does it feel to you like you've entered university, or do you still feel like maybe you have that like high school feeling still?
I think I do feel like I'm at university, especially since I like started to get more involved with all the like student activities and stuff. Because before that it was just studies, and that was similar to high school, but I think the extracurriculars were something that really differentiated between the two. Mm.
Wow, that's so interesting. My sister just started university too this past year, so she's in the same year as you. But she was like, "Oh, it's so weird. One day I just like kind of logged on Zoom, and then it was like I was in university. She didn't have a prom, and she didn't have a formal grad, and she didn't like have an orientation. Her school didn't even do like an online orientation, so she was like, "All right, I guess I'm here now." But it's interesting that you say like that the like being involved in extracurriculars kind of like made that like transition a bit more like defined for you. My sister isn't like involved in any extracurriculars, and she's like, I just feel like I'm doing school all the time and like that's it. So it like that's really interesting. I didn't think about the extracurriculars like kind of solidifying your transition into university.
Yeah.
I feel like, to me, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, that extracurriculars when you get to university, it's a lot more hands-off. In like my high school, you know, we have a teacher advisor, and not that she does everything, but she's always there with you, right? So, you know, if you ever mess up, Mrs. Gallen is going to come and save us. But when you're in university, you sometimes your faculty advisor like never even like you never see them, and so you feel a lot like I have to make all the decisions on my own. Me and my like fellow students, fellow children, like we're less than 20 years old, are like making decisions on our own. So yeah, I agree that like extracurriculars can be that thing that you get involved with, and it helps you kind of gain that independence and grow as a person. What kind of clubs or like groups did you join this year, Hedieh?
So starting from the beginning, I was like in the study groups since like the beginning of the fall. That was like my only like social activity I did in the first semester. And then oh, I also was in the FLC for like the duration of the year. Uh, so that was one other thing I was involved with. And then like towards the end of the second year, I mean second semester, I I like got involved with the Clean SMC club. Although we haven't done very much yet, but I'm gonna get more involved next year. And then thank you.
Super exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh my
And
gosh, I've never been in a registered study group before. What is it like?
uh, it was like especially this year because all of our classes were online and we didn't get to like really interact with our fellow students. It was very great. I had such a great experience, and I like very great people in my study group, so that was awesome. Yeah, we like met every week, and we like studied but also talked a lot about school and how things were going, and it was very nice because it was like you know, the conversations you have with your classmates about like courses and how life's going, they were really missing in the larger classes because you know,
Mm.
and we only talk when we like raise our hands and stuff. So that really like you know, filled in the place for that.
Oh, that's so interesting. And you had also mentioned that you took seminar courses in your first year, right?
Yeah.
Did you take, were they like the like first year seminars, the like 1999 courses?
Yeah, I was in the one of the ones programs. So I was in the Trinity One program, and it has like 2 full year seminar courses. So that was great also.
So cool. And how did you
Is
find out
that
about that?
So I think it was kind of the highlight of my year because it was small classes, and like I said, it was like it was a great opportunity to like meet people because again, it was missing in the larger classes like math and bio and stuff. So yeah, I think I made a few friends in our like classes, and yeah, I think one great thing about the seminar courses, like apart from the social parts, was the things we discussed, because they were discussion based and they weren't like we learn like content. I mean, we do learn content, but it was more like based on discussions, and that really like helped me think um think like it really like shifted the way I thought like in high school. And
mm.
yeah, I really like maybe understand so many things about like how science works and how research works. So that was very great, and yeah, I really recommend
The-
it to students.
That's
Wow, that's
awesome.
so
Is
interesting.
the Trinity Ones program, is that the one where your class is kind of about like writing and science?
So I'm not sure. So the topic of the classes, so we have a few streams. I was in the medicine and global health one. So the classes, one was about science and social choice. It was like more like bioethics and topics.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the other was what was it? Canadian health policy in the global context, and
Oh.
yeah, we learned about like health policy and how things work in Canada and how things work in like globally, and it was very relevant because we're in a pandemic right now. But yeah,
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I was wondering because I know David Rubenstein, who's in the same year as me. I know he took a Trinity seminar course before too, and I was wondering if it's the same one. I'm not sure, but that's so cool that you took like a global health course. I feel like that's totally relevant. That's
it was,
very, very cool. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's so interesting. And so how did you like find out about the course, or like, because it's a Trinity course, were you like, oh, maybe I can't apply, or like did you do all the research for it and you were like, I really want this?
yeah. So I think it was at the very beginnings of the summer of like before my first year. I got the email from SMC registrar about the SMC Ones program, and that was the first time I heard about the Ones program. So I just went to the the webpage that introduces all the first year opportunities, and there is a page like about Ones program specifically, and I read all the descriptions of the programs, and this one was the one that like caught my attention about like and the topics um and like the format of the classes. So I got interested, and yeah, it also required application. So uh, I did the application, and yeah, I got in.
Oh, amazing.
I think that's like so impressive because honestly, when I was going into my first year, I knew nothing. I read no emails. I swear. Like, I don't even know if I should admit this because I'm an orientation coordinator for like whatever. But I didn't even register myself for orientation when I was in first year. I'm pretty sure my dad saw the email and he was like, "Want me to register you?" I was like, "Okay, sounds good. I guess that's what you're supposed to do, right?" I don't recall filling out the registration form. I'm pretty sure my dad did it all for me. I just like I don't even remember what I was doing in the summer before first year. I went to Singapore. That's the only thing I remember from that whole summer. I just remember going to Singapore, eating spicy crab. That's like my only memories. So I came to university, stepped foot on campus, zero expectations, knew nothing about Toronto, didn't know how to work the subway system, didn't know anything. And I turned out okay. So for anyone who's listening to this and is a little bit confused, it's okay. Don't worry, you have time. No big deal. Just register for orientation. Oh my God, Hedieh, you're in life science. And like every time you're talking about like the big classes, I relate to you, gal, because I'm also in life science, neuroscience major, and like molecular genetics and everything. And honestly, the big classes muted myself. The big classes that continued into second year. And I remember just like this year when I had classes, I knew nobody in my class. Like, even though I'm in third year, I knew nobody because all of my friends are in different programs from me. And so, like, I would just go to class, be like on my own, be like, okay, don't know anyone, don't know how to ask for help. So I think it's like so awesome that you joined like registered study groups and actually got to like connect with your classmates, because I think that's something that I wish I did a little bit more in my first and second year. My roommate Karina, she's in life science and she's in pathobiology. And so like we had tons of classes together because like the base classes for life science are the same. But then this year we have all different classes. And so I realized like I basically only hang out with Karina in all of my classes. I sit with her in every single class. We had every class together for like the last 2 years. And I was like, wow, I have no friends. I just have Karina. And then I just have all of my SMC friends who are like also not in my program. It's like friends like Cianna, who's in political science. How's political science helping me in the pandemic?
That's
So
so
how does
true
it?
though. Like when you're in a class online, you're like you can't turn to the person next to you and be like, "Hey, do you know what's going on?" Cuz like that's not an option. Or you can't like just like make friends by like turning to the person next to you or anything. You're just like all in this like the Zoom link. Your only option is to like message someone directly. But I'm always like that's so awkward. Like what am I going to do? Be like, "Hey, random person, you don't know me, but like this is my question."
Oh, wait, Kevin, that's smart. Just because, like, I'm the kind of person who is shameless enough to just, like, if I thought that someone would respond to me, I would actually message them directly. But I had never considered that. If I'm confused in class, being like, hey, random name on the list, do you know what just happened?
Sorry, I froze. I didn't hear anything you said.
That's okay. I was just telling you that you are very smart because I had never thought to myself, if you're confused in class, you can just direct message someone. And like, honestly, I totally have that personality where I would totally be okay with just randomly putting myself out there to like be like, hey, how do you spell that? Like, what did he just say? What did he just say? One thing that I want to ask you, Hedieh, is like I think for Cianna and I, we've chit-chatted about this before, but we think one of the positives to online learning is that you have this like chat feature and it's like easier to ask questions in front of like just like ask questions during class because honestly, when you're in person, especially for life science, there's no such thing as your prof like taking your questions during class. No, 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 no. You sit in con hall, you sit there, with your best friend. Your prof talks, lectures for an hour and 10 minutes, and then you all run to your next class, and that's like it. Like that's it. And if you're confused, you ask your friend after class, or you ask the prof after class questions. But like now you can be like, ma'am or sir, what did you just say? Like, can you repeat that slide? And like your prof is actually like taking live like feedback and indications from your class and how they're doing, even though they can't like see you. Because I'm not gonna lie, when you're in con hall, my eyesight's not great. I know when I'm standing on that podium, even with my glasses on, I can't see the first row. So I'm pretty sure my prof also can't see the first row to be picking up visual cues on who's confused and who's not confused. So, anyways, all that to say is I feel like the chat really like gives students a better voice during classes. And I wanted to know if you were surprised by anything in online learning that you actually were like, this is really good for learning.
Yeah. So for me, a few of my classes were like the lectures were pre-recorded, and we had like lecture tutorials where the prof was like reviewing, like doing questions for like chemistry or math, and also the tutorials. And I really like for like the live ones, it was so convenient to like ask questions, especially like when you can like direct message the question to like the prof or the TA that's present. And that was like it was like so easier. Like I could imagine if it was in person, I would never ask my question because I'm too shy. But yeah, and for the pre-recorded question, I mean lectures. Uh, so for like a few of my courses, it was like we had the discussion boards on Quarkus, and we could just post our questions there, and the profs would answer them like on their own time. Or for other courses, there were like office hours that we could go and ask. But for the live lectures, yeah, I think the chat was very very convenient.
So Hedieh, what programs did you decide to apply to?
Oh, so I applied to molecular genetics and microbiology and biochemistry and immunology and cell and molecular
Sound
biology.
systems?
Yeah, cell and system. And yeah, I think that was it.
All good choices.
Wow.
All good choices. What did you settle on in the end?
Oh, so I think my top choice is the specialist in molecular genetics and microbiology, but I don't know, I'm doubting my decision right now. So
Oh my gosh, girly, do not worry. You can always change, like, especially for
You
life
can.
science. Like, as a life science student, my gal, the courses that you take in first year and in second year are pretty much all the same. All the same. You're gonna take PSL for every single course. You're gonna take what are you gonna take? In my mind, all I'm thinking about is PSL. You all have
That's
to take
literally
PSL
the only
300,
course I know.
biochem 210 and 311, and like human bio 265, which is like a genetics course. So my point is that when you have all of those like base requirements, like it's so easy to switch over to another one. So don't feel like you're locked in. And I forgot that it's only May and program decisions have not come out yet.
they just came out last night, so but yeah, I think there will be coming like until the end of summer.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah. If you
Wow.
like actually want to talk about because I'm in molecular genetics and microbiology, if you want to talk about it after this podcast or like on another day, I can tell you about like what the courses I've taken so far are like. And I can even tell you again like next year after I'm in courses to like give you a better idea of like the different courses you can eventually take, and you can find out a little more about whether that sounds interesting or not, and you know, have that room to move to another program that is adjacent but interesting, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Don't worry, gal. Like, honestly, as a life science student whose other friends, I also have a life science, like, I know. Honestly, it's the decisions. Don't worry. It's all good. The main point is that you can switch. You can switch if you don't like it. Or you can stay. You might really like it. Anyways. I lost my train of thought there. Anyways, all that to say is life science has a lot of versatility in the first 2 years.
Mhm.
Flexibility in the first, versatility, English. This is why I'm not in English. Vocabulary, I don't know. Cianna, our resident's not life science student. What is the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just move on now.
But I think like that brings up an interesting point of like how like regardless of if you're in life science or social science or whatever, you can change your program later on. Like you're not, once you make that decision, you're not set in stone. Even if you apply to like university and you were like, I'm gonna go like into this field and this path, like you're not set in stone in that. Like depends. Like if you're gonna jump from like, you know, English to like neurobiology, you might need some like additional supports there. But for the most part, you can switch your program relatively easily. And, you know, sometimes you take a course and you're like, I love this. And like you end up turning it into your like degree or something like that. I think that's such an amazing part of university is like finding that course that you're like, I'm obsessed, and then just making it your whole personality.
So Hedieh, what do you think? I know you said the Trinity One seminar you think is your highlight from first year. Do you have any other like big highlights or favorite classes from this year?
Favorite classes? I don't know. Cause the other classes that I took were like calculus and chemistry and biology. I mean, I like we had that in high school as well, so they weren't something like completely new. But like highlights of first year in general, I think other than my seminar courses, I would say the study group. Because yeah, that was awesome.
That's so cute. That's so cute. Are you still like keeping up with your study group partners?
Yeah, we have a group chat on WhatsApp, so you're in touch.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, honestly, I got super, super lucky in my first year. Like I said, my best friend Karina, she was my roommate and she was in my orientation group and she was in my first year learning community. So we literally spent every single waking moment together, like all day. Wake up together, eat breakfast together, go to first class together, continue going to class together, come home from class together, go to the same club together. Like my whole, like, I was really lucky in that way that like I had this person who was like sticking by me and like it was really easy to like be friends with her because we had so much like literal like stuff we were doing together. So I think it's really nice when you can connect with people in your same like general stream of program so that you like can ask for advice and like have that like peer support. And I think that sometimes, I don't know, like I feel like it's not really said explicitly, but I feel like there's so much strength in having like someone next to you who's like going through that same thing that you are and just being like validated by the fact that like they're also like this isn't easy or like this is so much fun or this is whatever. So like whatever you're feeling, you're like, oh, I'm not alone in feeling these positive things or feeling these negative things or feeling these neutral things. You're like, ah, my gals, my guys, my y'all's here, you know? Anyways, that's all.
Yeah, so this year, for like my seminar courses, I said, we like met up with a few of my friends like once. And one thing that I realized when we met up was that how much I like feel alone when like in my struggles in like first year. So like I was like for an assignment that we had, I like thought, okay, I'm doing really bad on this one. I'm barely meeting the deadline and stuff. And I used to like think that, oh, all of my classmates are doing so well and I'm the only one like struggling. And and like when we met up in person, I realized like we talked about these stuff, and I realized that it wasn't just me, and it felt so good. So yeah, that was one thing that I really missed this year, but we had it in our study group, so that was great.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that, Hedieh. Do you have any advice for first years who are or students coming into their first year?
Okay, so I think one thing that really worked out for me, and I would advise it to the incoming students, is really try to like find out what's going on in the university and try to like get yourself in them, because it's like very easy to like feel invisible. uh so so like try to like find opportunities where you can like express yourself. So like for myself, I did like seminar courses, and I was in like an what's it called, FLC, in like study groups. So those were like are really helpful for me to like kind of feel like I'm not invisible, because especially in like first year the classes like are bigger like the regular ones. So yeah, it was like very easy to like feel lonely, and yeah, so I think that it would be like a great thing to like trying to get yourself in like communities and opportunities that you find. Yeah.
And is there anything like you wish you knew going into first year? Like, either like a tool or like a helpful tip or like a resource like that you now know, but like going into first year, it might have been helpful?
I can't think of any right now, but one thing like a fact that I wish I knew when I was coming is like I will like eventually like find out how things work and do well if that makes sense because before I was like actually coming to university, I heard a lot of things like UFT is really hard and first year is the hardest year, and I mean all of that things about it being hard, and I kind of felt like kind of automatically felt like I was going to do bad. But but at the end of the day, it turned out to like okay. Although at first I struggled a lot first semester, but it got really better. Like once I actually understood how things work here and what's going on. So I really wish I knew that from the beginning because it could have like helped me be more optimistic, I guess.
Yeah, oh my God, I feel that so much. And this is just like my own personal philosophy and like approach to things. But I try my hardest not to listen to like what other people tell me to expect. And I try my hardest not to have expectations because I think that expectations just end up weighing you down in a way. Just like, the reputation of U of T comes in and you might think like, oh, it's just going to be so hard in first year. What someone else experienced might not be what you experienced, or it might be, but it doesn't really matter to like in my mind. I think to myself, it doesn't really matter exactly what someone else's like outlook and experience is on something. I'm my own person and I have my own room to make my own choices and formulate my own opinions about how I feel and how I'm going to approach each new situation. And so I really try to limit expectations and limit listening to like, oh, that test was really hard, or that, that, even that like movie is really good. Because like when you let all those things like weigh down on you, I feel like it clouds your ability to make your own free choice and your own free opinion of something like in the moment, and just like really experience it and just, not get bogged down by someone else predisposing you to being like, oh, I should approach it in XYZ way. I don't need to be that way. Anyways, that's my own personal philosophy. Like I said, everyone's different and everyone's free to approach situations in the way that suits them. My last question, Hedieh, is how do you feel going into your second year of university?
Okay, I'm actually kind of excited. Yeah, because I would eventually, I mean, finally be in an actual program, and that's kind of exciting. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but I really wish like things like for COVID and stuff get better, so that I don't know, something that's different from first year. But yeah, I think right now I am kind of very excited.
That's amazing. I'm so excited for you.
Yes,
Even
that's
like,
very exciting.
yeah. I think second year, you kind of, like you said, you know a little bit more. And so you can be a little more prepared and a little more knowledgeable when you make decisions in your second year. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Very excited. Always reach out to me, Hedieh. I love talking to you, seriously. And always happy to talk about life science with you. Always happy to talk about non-life science things with you as well, like crafting.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Hedieh, for being our guest this week on the podcast. We really enjoyed hearing all of your stories and your experiences. And yeah, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was very great
Awesome.
talking to you.
All right. Bye, Hedieh.
Bye.